to get better in FC24, join the Neil Guides Patreon.
Okay guys, this formation will really save you. Saved me every single year throughout Team of the Season. It's going to start today, Team of the Season, probably in about an hour's time before this video is uploaded. There's a few things you really need to know. If you remember back in the days, there was top tips for Ultimate Team of the Season, Team of the Year. I think I'll bring that one back. But this formation is very, very important, especially at this stage of the year. What you need to realize is that if you don't play the first weekend league of Team of the Season or the second weekend league, you kind of fall short. And that means your team is not up to scraps anymore. You're going to see a lot of players applying pressure. You'll find yourself in games where you should be winning, that you'll be conceding. The key thing is keep composure and have a comeback tactic. The 4-2-4 is basically, no matter what anyone else says, because there's a lot of nonsense in the community, the 4-4-2 and the 4-2-4 are identical. The only difference is, in this formation, is that you have actual left mids and right mids, and then these are just more the wingers, so just more attacking, more forward. I like the ability to have wingers in your team. I feel they attack and they're higher up the pitch to go forward, and they naturally are better attackers compared to left mids and right mids who are slightly more on the defensive end. So this is more of a 4-4-2 that is very attacking. Now we're going to go through the tactics first, okay? Balance. Now, as maybe Team of the Season goes on, I'll increase this. We put this on 60 now. It was 55 if you remember for like the past year or so. Just be a bit more wide, a bit more pronounced, because don't forget now, you're going to have better players as well. Even what's coming out today, this Friday, I think is a live Team of the Season. There's still going to be some top tier cards there. Pace is key, and let's be honest, everyone's got a good team. Now, Evos has made the playing field, which was kind of pay to win before, but now it's kind of balanced it a bit now with these Evo cards. The depth 71. Now 71 is still the go-to depth for applying pressure. 71 is when the team enter into that auto offside territory and when the team press themselves. If you use any tactic in theory with just these three defensive tactics, should I say, your team is going to press. But naturally the 4-4-2, or I'm going to call it the 4-4-2 here, because don't forget, when you defend, they end up becoming left mids, right mids. You defend in our 4-4-2. It's the best formation for pressing, not only in real life football, but also inside a game. That is why many teams in real life you see always convert to a 4-4-2s, because you cover most of the areas of the pitch. You have two strikers to at least pin two centre backs if you want to as well. That's what you can do now. What I would recommend is, especially for Team of the Season, you got to put this in an ultra attacking slot. I put this constant pressure on. Now, is this the formation I start the game with? No. If I am losing 2-0, 3-0, and it's 60 minutes, and I need to really get back into the game, this formation I guarantee would save you. Now, build-up play, you can lean towards balanced, and maybe depending on your play style, like if you're a very top-tier player, you could go fast build-up play, but you got to be careful because you're pressing, and then you win the ball back, then you're building up quickly. You can also be counter-attacked. I always say long ball is a good intermediate. Players still go forward, you provide attacking opportunities. The problem is with balance is, even though you don't like to think it, even with me, even though the top tier players, when you're losing inside the game, you psychologically play faster. You start running with the ball when you shouldn't run with the ball. If you look at some of the best pro players, they are so calm when they are down because they know they can get back into the game. You really got to be calm. If you're losing 2-0, I promise you, watch your gameplay back. You got to be calm. People run with the ball. They try to rush the attack, play the ball to the striker. Yes, I know you might be 2-0 down, but sometimes rushing is the worst thing you can do. So kind of using fast ball to play, even long ball might even help, to make you help me play a bit more aggressive than you actually would. So even though you're already frustrated, you're playing aggressive, you may play even faster. So I've gone with long ball, but if you know you struggle with that, definitely use balance. Chance creation, it is forward runs. It can be the forward runs or direct passing. The problem with balance is kind of like a mixture of everything, and possession is a complete utter waste of time. Like, let's be honest, like unless you're really a top tier player and you're playing possession, you really got to run L1 triggers. As I said, I'm a no BS kind of guy. 99% of the community don't even know what they're doing. There's no chance they can use possession. So forward runs is what I would stick with still. Or you could use direct passing if you prefer both on old gen and new gen. And balance is really for those that like possession. If you like possession, just use balance instead, because it gives you a bit of everything. But possession, as I said, it really relies on L1 triggers and top tier performance on your level. The tactics won't save you there. For the width, we've gone with 55. Good appropriate balance. 7 players inside the box. Don't go too much, as you're really going to put yourself in counter-attack territory, and corners and free kicks as you want to. What I would say is, don't go overly aggressive in corners, because especially the ultra attacking formation, if you're losing 2-0 down or 1-0 down, let's say, best during team season, normally there's only 1 or 2 goals in against a player that's a similar level to you. You go too much, you're going to end up coming to a situation where you're going to be too much on that end. So, and be counter-attacked. So be very, very careful. Otherwise, you can do whatever you want by just saying, just don't go towards 5. People think naturally, oh, must be attacking formation. You must use 5. I normally use like 2 or 3 at max. Now going over to an instruction. So both the left mid and right mid, both of them on come back in defense, get in behind and come again to the box for a cross. Very, very important. So when you win the ball back, they're going to be making runs going forward. You don't want to use any of these because let the game decide. Because if, let's say you push a fullback forward, let's say I push Zambrotta forward, the game knows to go inside manually with the senior, with on balance. So if as Zambrotta overlaps, the senior's going to go inside or your right wing's going to go inside anyway. So don't panic. You have to just leave that on default. For the 2 strikers, I leave them both on stay forward, get it behind. I personally leave them on stay central. The reason for why I do this, it comes down to 2 things. The first thing is if they're central, they're going to stay in the middle. I never really want one of my wingers to go inside to play that striker role. So most time it'll be something like along these lines, or I'm kind of using Correa right now. I'm leaving Correa on the wing for the finesse shots. But if I'll do something like this to senior, and you end up getting a very good setup like that. But I don't want to be really too much. You can either go with 1 tall striker. I like 2 agile players, left stick dribbling, especially when you're trying to score last minute. I like to induce a lot of panic where you have the ball at your feet, and if you're a good player, you're comfortable with the ball and you can less dribble without, because people get the ball to the strike and they rush take a shot. If you can get the ball into the final third and do less dribbling, if you see all the top tier pro players, what they do, less dribbling, wait for a chance. If they see the chance, then they go forward. If not, they go back and they rotate. So it's very, very important, but you can get rid of stay central if you want to. Now, as I said to you, I've been using this for a few years, and I think I saw Gorilla do this with it a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm mistaken. But one of the top tier pro players, I was watching it stream and I saw using this formation, using both the centre mids on get forward. Now, this is actually better than a traditional having a left back and right back going forward, because in real life, fullbacks, they do something, they create 2v1s, 2v2s even. But in this game, they kind of just go forward and they just stand there. Yes, if you manually do that yourself, but I find that when I'm trying to score, there's never enough strikers. Think about how many times you're there for a cutback. There's never enough strikers, right? There's always never enough players inside the middle, especially because you lack that cam. With both these players on get forward, they're going to get inside the box. You ideally need 2 players here who are box to box. Realistically, you need everyone here in this team at 85 sprint speed and above. Let's be realistic. If you're playing here with 80 sprint speed at this time of the year, I don't know what you're doing. Maybe the only players you can get away with without a shadow is maybe centre backs at like 83 sprint speed. Anything lower, absolutely not. I'm not going to sell dreams here and pretend like we live in fantasy land that you can use a player with 75 sprint speed. Whoever's telling you that is just lying to you, honestly. But you need to have fast players here. Box to box, 2 players. If you want 1 defensive, 1 attacking, that's fine. But I think at this stage of the year, players like Stanway, you can get Stanway and Madry, 2 cards that cost, I think, collectively under 100k, or about maybe 120k if I'm not mistaken. Both of those cards are very, very good, very attacking. You can sub them both on. If you need more attacking prowess, put them on in midfield over here. Both of them on get forward. And if you want, you can put them on get into the box or cross. But I like to leave them on manual and let the game decide when's that chance to make that last minute run themselves. And that's how you can find them sometimes in these unoccupied positions. Both of them will cover central. Now left back and right back, got them on stay back and overlap. Now, as I said to you, when you lose the ball, you're still going to have a back 4 lines. You don't have to panic. Now, you're going to ask me, but hang on, Neil. If I want to have the fullbacks to join the attack, just simply use the D-pad tactics. That's what makes this formation so good. So off the ball, it's the best pressing formation. But on the ball, you basically attack with 6 players. So I really, really like it. What I would suggest is have 1 player like Dunk or Kunde. That's quite, well, Dunk's not really agile, but they're quick enough to recover. If you've got someone that can also make a pinged pass, because that's what's going to help you to make the pass to one of the strikers, even better. And that's the setup that I have. Now, as I said, this formation is really going to save you. And the goalkeeper, I left them on balance. You can use sweeper keeper. It's just that me personally, I would suggest using sweeper keeper, but for me personally, I just like to control it myself. I feel like I want to bring the goalkeeper out when I want to. Just because the way that I defend quite aggressively. I might push a centre back out. I don't want the goalkeeper to come out because I know there's going to be a cutback and so on. So that's the reason why I leave it unbalanced. It does purely depend on what formation I'm playing and how I'm playing. But that is the 4-4-2 or the 4-2-4 tactics. It's basically the same thing. You could use the 4-4-2 and copy the exact same tactics. So this will just be a bit more attacking. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. Best of luck as well, of course. for the weekend league. Come on, don't forget, if you want to get better at FC24, you come to my Patreon series, patreon.com/NailGuides. Links down in the description. Don't get better after 1 month, or refund your mindset, Nail Guides guarantee. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and of course, catch you next time. Peace out.